Happy to see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got 30 seconds more before we get started. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Those of you who don't know, my name is Imran, and today I'm going to be taking you through this beautiful journey of DMP. Hello, everybody. Can I see you all waving your hands with a big smile on? Let's get you all started. So let's see if we can go live right now on to the service, and we are ready. So let's start with some music. So let's see who shows us the dance moves today. Okay, great. So let's start with Kanika. No cheating. Get up and inspire all of us. So everybody say hello to... And let's say hello to all these wonderful kids out there. Come on, Pawan. Put out. Come on, Om Prakash. No cheating. Everybody get up and dance. Everybody, let's follow. Just be there. Come on, Chetna, show us your look. Everybody, let's follow Anand. Everybody say hello to Akash there. Let's follow Madhavi there. Let's follow Manas there. Everybody, let's follow Sush. No cheating, everybody, get up, dance. Everybody, let's follow Ram. Ram, show us your moves. Everybody follow Ranjit. No cheating, get up, everybody. I'm good, go for it. I'm good. Everybody say hello to Nasreen. Nasreen, show us your moves. Everybody, let's follow the trick. Come on, Mehboob bhai, show it to us. Come on, Gunjani, let's show us your moves. Thank you, everybody. How are you all doing today? Good to see you all. Welcome back to this amazing platform. What a way to get started. So everybody, please take your seat. And let me say quickly hello to everybody. Can I see you all waving your hands with a big smile on? Welcome. And those of you wondering, Imran, who are you? Okay, my name is Imran Beg. I am the handwriting guy. So my specialization is I do handwriting analysis, and that's my passion, and that's what I do. And today I have this honor and privilege to lead this DMP. So the idea is Mitesh does things amazingly. I know you all, so you don't have to compare me and the energy and everything. But right now, let's make this system work, because very soon the idea about DMP should be that with Mitesh or without Mitesh, we will stand by to the entire curriculum. We'll stand by the entire process. So how many of you are ready for it? Because it's time to bring in the leader inside of you. How many of you are committed for that? So how many of you are willing to take this community forward and be a leader and create this space for everybody in your family? So please settle down, sit straight, and gently go ahead and close your eyes, because I want you to bring in this energy. And before we actually do that, I want you to please pick up a place where you can sit down and experience this energy around you. So when you close your eyes right now, I want you to go ahead, channelize all this energy in a particular way. So everybody, let's do this right now. So go ahead, sit straight, close your eyes. Now that you have closed your eyes, we're going to be practicing something very special today. I want you to think about 5 amazing things about you. Raise your right hand so I know that you heard what I just said. I want you to go ahead, find out 5 amazing things about you. 5 amazing things you're known for. So I want you to focus on all the good things about you. Maybe the way you understand certain modalities. Maybe the way you are an amazing student. Maybe you are an amazing father. So think about the 5 amazing things about you. Go ahead, everybody. I want you to visualize that. I want you to see yourself being that amazing 5 things which you're defining yourself for. For example, if Ram has to think about him, what is the 5 amazing things about Ram? So let's identify that. What is the 5 amazing things about Venkatesh? So go ahead, explore that. What about the 5 amazing things about Ankit, Kanika? So think about it and smile. It's amazing things about you. It's basically you're adding an anchor to who you are. Think about, yeah, you want to go for more than 5? I'll be more than happy. But I want you to identify 5 amazing things about you. Come on, don't be stingy, be generous. It's about you. I want you to celebrate that. Your smile should say a lot. You're thinking good about yourself. And now that you have identified the 5 amazing things about you, think about the 5 amazing compliments you can give it to your own self. So go ahead, take this moment and give 5 compliments to your own self. It could be about, Gunjani, you're so amazing. Keep up the way you work towards helping others in your life. So go ahead, speak to yourself. You're basically giving yourself a compliment. It's like Aradhana saying, Aradhana, thank you for being that unreasonable person in your life and loving people unconditionally. So you're actually complimenting your own self. So Venkatesh should be speaking to himself, like give 5 compliments. Come on, everybody. I know it's the most difficult thing to do. Like, first of all, thinking good about our own self. Second, giving compliments to your own self. I'm not used to all this. And some of you are still thinking about the 5 good things. You don't have much time. You have only limited time. So go ahead, start concluding this as an activity, because I'll tell you why are we doing this. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And one. Everybody, warm your eyes up and gently open up. Warm your eyes and open your eyes, everybody. Thank you for following my instructions. So now the question was, Imran, why did we do this activity? The Everybody wants to work on their relationship. Everybody wants to work on how they can be amazing with people around and how they can create a win for themselves. But the fundamental thing is, it's important that you need to learn to create a relationship with your own self. Everybody say this with me: relationship with my own self. And before you actually go on to create amazing results for yourself outside, it's important that you need to bring in connectivity. So as human beings, we are very beautiful. You know why? Because when it comes to finding faults with our own self, the list is very long. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Right? If I had asked Om Prakash or Anand to tell things which you are not good at, the list could have been more longer than that. But I only asked for five, and some of us struggled at five because some of you like, I'm confident, but you know what, Imran? But so can you see that every time we think about the good things about ourselves, the ifs and the buts comes in. How many of you were able to relate to that? Yes, Imran, it happened with me. I went two or three and I got stuck with the fourth one because I was not able to think about it. So if you don't acknowledge your own self, forget about receiving acknowledgement from others. Are you with me on that? You need to be a hero in your own eyes before others see the hero in you. And it's not a superficial conversation I'm having with you. Trust me when I say this. I'm a master when it comes to conversational therapy. Say this word, everybody. Conversational therapy. What is conversational therapy? What is my understanding about human behavior and human body is that everything is nothing but conversation. And it's so powerful and so easy that your brain also listens to your conversation. For example, everybody raise your left hand. So can you see that? Your left hand went up. Why? You said to your left hand, okay, Imran asked to raise your left hand, so you're right. So what I did was I spoke to you, I had a conversation with you, and with my conversation, you took an action. It is as simple it is. So when people can speak to you and make you take an action, my question to you is that why are you not able to speak to your own self and take action? Why are you looking for motivation in life? Why is that you need somebody to push you, give you logic, why you should be doing this, why you should be doing the affirmation part, why you should be actually looking at yourself, why you should be like, how many of you I make sense? Type in MS on the chat box if I make sense to you, because we're always looking at outside factors. Venkatesh, please open your eyes. Be with me, please. Yeah, thanks. Am I making sense to you? So if you can speak to your own self, you don't need anybody else. So I am all about creating leaders, not followers. Followers, we have many people in our life. We are looking for leaders right now, and I want you to imbibe this in your own self. Now, the reason why we gave comment, because do you know that if you don't acknowledge your own self, you can actually cause challenges, health problems to your own self. Yes, all of you who have challenges in back pain, you know what? The biggest problem the world is right now experiencing is the back ache. How many of you have this back ache? Imran, yeah, I have this problem. My back always aches. And it could be the lower back, it could be the upper back, it could be like, so everybody say this problem, Imran, I have back issues. So write BI on the chat box if you have back issues. Yeah, the chat box is directed towards me, I guess. Okay, I think I've opened it up for everybody there. Now, everybody, why am I having this conversation? DMP is all about daily magic practice. So today the magic is in your words. Today we're going to be practicing the magic is in your head. So we're going to be bringing that, forward for you. Now, all of you who have back related issues, your back is divided into three parts. Everybody give me three. So there is an upper back, there is a middle part of it, and the lower back. Now, listen to this very carefully. Upper back is where you have developed issues. It could be a frozen shoulder, it could be the pain, unexplained pain in your back. So why is it coming to you? Is because you are experiencing lack of acknowledgement in your life. So if you have an emotion, listen to me very carefully. The emotion is, Imran, no matter how much I do, I don't get recognition. I do so much for my children and family. Nobody acknowledges me. My presence is not important in there. In my organization, I'm not really valued. In my workplace, I'm not really being able to contribute enough. So if you feel the minus of acknowledgement, you will start developing issues with your back. Now, the question is, Imran, how is it connected? It's part of the same mind. It's part of the same body, because what you think and what you feel, it gets manifested in your body. So easy thing is, go take your treatment, eat tablets, go through the physiotherapy. So what you're doing is you are solving the problem. But what you need to do is identify the root cause of the problem. Okay. So how many of you experience upper back issues and you're able to relate to it? Yes, Imran. Lack of self-acknowledgement. Everybody type in relate if you're able to relate to what I just shared with you. I'm not getting too deeper into it. I'm just having a conversation around it. And if you can see on the chat box, you're not alone in this journey. And I'm not against medicines. I'm not against doctors. I'm not against the approach towards treating your own self. But what I'm against is the dependency of medicines, the dependency on the tablets which you take. So the idea is, if you can relate to it, are you with me on that? If you can empower your brain, you can take care of your body, because the brain is enough to take care of your body. So a healthy mind cannot have a diseased body. So every time you're writing your affirmations, every time you're reading your affirmations, is it okay to take a moment to also acknowledge yourself? Okay. You don't have to wait for me to acknowledge. Like, you acknowledge yourself. For example, first of all, acknowledge yourself that you're open to learn something new. That's why you're here in the DMP. Everybody take your right hand. I say, good job. Take your name and say, good job, Ankit. Good job, Chadra. Good job, Suchita. Because you're open for learning something new. That's appreciation. Acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge number 2. Everybody raise your right hand, go to the left line. Acknowledge yourself for being consistent, showing up here in the DMP. Imran, this is my 10th day. Imran, I've been doing this for 1 month now. Imran, this is part of my life. So you've been consistent. At least in one area of your life, you're consistent. Acknowledge that. Everybody celebrate that. Rahul is like, Imran, nahi, jab main pahad khodunga, tabhi main apne aap ko appreciate karunga. Nahi, you don't have to wait for the bigger things. Celebrate the small things. Are you with me on that? The magic is in the smaller things. The magic is in the finer details. So you don't acknowledge yours. Like, even the smallest milestone, celebrate that. Even the smallest milestone, celebrate that. So what is the third thing? What do you want to celebrate and acknowledge about you? Everybody tell me some ideas. So I said 2 things. Now you tell me, what do you want to acknowledge about you? So maybe it makes sense to all of you. So even if it is your first day today, Pratima, acknowledge yourself. You decided to spend here rather than watching some mindless movies or mindless OTT. You chose the 9 o'clock as your self-development time. God bless you. So what do you want to acknowledge about you? What do you want to acknowledge about you? Acknowledge the level of Shraddha you practice in your life. You're so committed towards the way you look at Mitejji, the way you look at the teachers in your life. It requires something inside of you, because if you don't have that Shraddha, if you don't have that faith, if you don't have that commitment, you will not get results in your life. So how many of you want to acknowledge that, Imran? Yes, I operate with Shraddha. Everybody? Yeah, Ram was very quick on it. Yeah, go ahead. Acknowledge that about you. So can you see, there's so many amazing things about you. I love what, I think somebody wrote this. Yeah, I love what Shubhangini wrote. I said, I'm so giving more than receiving. I love all of you to have this. Stop being a consumer and become a contributor. Everybody say that, I'm a contributor. I'm a contributor. I'm not a consumer. I'm not there to just receive information. I'm not just here to attain a program, but I want to learn it, make it work, and share it with the world. Share it with the world. Amazing. I can go on and on, but you're amazing. I'm sure you're going to find out ways to acknowledge your own self. Trust me, your brain and you need it more than anybody else. And don't wait for your acknowledgement should not be conditional. Okay, only when Sandeep gets it, it makes no. You appreciate your own self. You be the hero for yourself. Rest of the world will follow it. Okay. So with this, everybody pull out your affirmations. It's time for you to read your affirmations. So please stand up from your chairs. And when you read the affirmations, read it as if you mean it. Read it as if you believe in it. And nobody else but for your own self. So everybody go ahead and do it. I want you to do this with complete Shraddha, with the complete appreciation. Remember the type of person you are and think about it. So who is reading? The person who's in self-acknowledgement is reading the affirmation. So go ahead, do that right now. So So I'm going to give you this 5 minutes to do it for yourself. Go ahead. And those of you attending this for the first time, and if this is your first day, if you don't have any affirmations ready, that means you have not watched our welcome video. So please watch the welcome video, understand the process. But right now, it's okay. Just talk to the universe. Think about all the things that you want to achieve. Do it right now. Please watch our video, Pratima. We'll send you the link on the chat box right now. Please get up, practice, mean it when you say it. Everybody, go ahead, unmute yourself and go ahead, take the position, and we are going to be blessing as many people as possible. So go ahead, everybody, unmute yourself and bless as many people as possible. Remember the sign for
Yeah,
blessing.
congratulations, Manisha, Savita, Sandeep.
Congratulations, everyone. We all are magicians because at the energy level, we
Congratulations,
all are
everyone.
one.
Love you, everyone. Clap it up.
God bless you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this. You all have been amazing. So let's do this right now, one last time. Do you think it's possible? Come on, everybody say, yes, it's possible. Do you think it's possible? Come on, everybody say, yes, it's possible. Great. Amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to keep you all on mute right now and let's continue. So, those of you attending this for the first time, I want you to go ahead, watch the welcome video because you'll understand what we're doing here, what is this process, what is the flow, and the DMP is going to be there happening every single day. But right now, I want you to go ahead, give me one word. What opened up for you from this conversation on the chat box? Everybody, go ahead. What opened up for you from this conversation? Give me one word on the chat box. Come on, everybody. Happy Sam says, love. What opened up for you? Got connected, self love, power, sukoon, self love, discipline. Okay, self reflection, peace, love, body mind coordination, acceptance, mind. Wow, all the amazing answers out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, with this, let's get on to it. I'm diverting all the chat box towards me. So, before we proceed further, are you all okay to stay back and learn something new before we say bye to each other? And those of you don't know, little background about myself is that my core specialization is I use handwriting in decoding people's subconscious mind. And today I have something amazing to share with you all. Today is the 7th of May, and on the 9th of May, we are going to be celebrating the birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore. And one of the fundamental reasons why I started learning handwriting analysis is to understand and know people from the past, from the present, and to identify what is that I can learn from them. So one of my concrete belief is that if you want to become a doctor, you do engineering. If you want to become a if you want to become a doctor, you study medicine. If you want to become an engineer, you do engineering. Now the question is, what do you do if you want to become successful? The answer is you study successful people. Are you all with me on that? So easiest method. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do the mistakes. Remember, Mitesh said this very beautifully. He says that don't learn from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes of the masters. Learn from the mistakes of the amazing people who have already been there, achieved that. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to follow the process. And today I want to share with you some of the amazing learnings from Rabindranath Tagore. And the best part is when I show you the handwriting sample, I will show you my material. And I want you to know that Rabindranath Tagore never practiced graphotherapy. I did not teach him how to write good. I did not teach him how to write the scientific way. He naturally had those abilities. So, how many of you are excited to see those things in the handwriting? And you know what? You'll be surprised that every time I'm going to show you the handwriting as a reference, I'll show you my material, and that's going to be an amazing way of looking at it. So ready for it, everybody? So pull out some paint sheet of paper and also keep some stationery handy because you'll be making some notes of all the things I'm going to show you. So the best part is Rabindranath Tagore is an amazing personality, and thanks to him, we have our national anthem. We have our name in the list of Nobel literates from India, and he was one among the first to get it. And he has a lot of things which he has contributed to the society. In fact, the way he looked at, the way he started Shantiniketan as an phenomena, and even today his works, his novels, his stories, and many of the movies which we have watched, many of the stories which you have watched has been inspired from all his amazing work. So what I'm going to look at right now is I want to show you a segment. So today what we are learning is I have an amazing segment. I practice this. So the segment name is Write Like a Genius. So identify some amazing people in our life and learn and inspire. So if they have it in their handwriting, that means that's their subconscious programming, and we can develop that by practicing it. So I want to show you the handwriting of Rabindranath Tagore. So everybody on your screen right now, this is how Rabindranath Tagore used to write. And this is as old as dated as 1936. Okay, and look at all of his handwriting. And the best part is today I will show you some of the finer details. You can look into his handwriting and see if you have it in your personality, and if you have it, what does it mean. So let's start with the first one. So I'm referring to this handwriting sample right now, and I want you to pay attention one important characteristics for a handwriting analyst. And this is for people who don't have any understanding about what I do. For a handwriting analyst, every letter somebody writes on the paper means a lot. So for example, right now, if you are looking at the letter T, the many ways of writing letter T, but now look at the letter T in Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting, you will see the letter T is crossed at a particular part of the stem. So if this is your standing line, the crossbar is on a particular direction. And the best part is this is consistently the same everywhere. So let me show you that on the handwriting. Everybody go back to the handwriting sample and now look at it. And if you see it, type in me on the chat box. That means you're able to see it. How many of you are able to see? Look at the way this T is crossed. Exactly the same place, even this T is crossed. Exactly the same place, this T is crossed. Exactly the same way. So this went little high, but most of it, can you see that here? Everywhere the position as if it was measured and written. How many of you see that? Raise your hand if you're able to see that, right? Can you see as if it was measured and written? And when you write like this, you know what? I'm not going to say it because you will think, oh, he is writing it. That's why you're trying to tell your meaning. You know what I'm going to do right now is, if you have done my program, or in the future, if you're going to do my program, you will be receiving this material, and I'm opening up my material for all of you right now. See this is the book which you're going to receive as part of your study material when you do my handwriting analysis program. And I'm opening up a conversation here, and I'm going to his thinking pattern. Now look at this. How many of you are able to see the same type of a T where exactly it is crossed? And this behavior is called as somebody who has practical goals. And what type of T's are we talking about? We're talking about the T bar crossed 2/3 on the stem. Stem is the standing line, and crossbar is the crossbar line. This is the T bar line. And what does it say about this person? It says such writers have their goals planned. They are very practical in their approach. They need to see the end of a project before they start. They plan everything in advance. They find joy in anticipating things. These writers have everything mapped for themselves. Now, the question is, how many of you have this in your handwriting? Imran, my T bars are pretty much there. And if you don't have it, here is an interesting thing. You can write in a particular way to influence your brain. Remember, your handwriting is coming from your brain to the hand, using the neural pathways, using the nerve system, using the muscles and everything. So every change you do in your handwriting, you can actually influence your brain. It's as simple as having a conversation, but this time you're using handwriting as a way of doing it. Are you all with me on that? Are you all with me on that? So we call this behavior as practical goals. And I also want to tell you, letter T has 21 things to talk about you. How many things, everybody? Yeah, in fact, 27 things to talk about you. But right now, we're not talking about the 27 different ways of writing T. One type of a T, which is part of it. Remember, what we're doing is we're learning to write like a genius. So let's develop little geniusness in ourselves and influence our subconscious mind. How many of you are able to see that? And how many of you are amazed to see you have this in Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting? And by the way, even if you don't write like this, when you meet people in your life who have this style of writing, what you need to know about them is, for example, if Smita has this style of writing, if you're selling something to Smita, you better tell her the end result first. You better tell her the pros and the cons first. You better tell her that how you are going to be good at, because she's very practical. So if Mr. Joseph has this in his handwriting, if you're going to tell him, Joseph, you invest 1 lakh rupees, you're going to get 2 lakh rupees, no, it will not make sense to him because it is away from practicality. No business gives you so much of a return, no process of business. So he will if you give him the breakdown of the process, he will be for you. So why people learn handwriting analysis is not just about understanding yourself, but also to understand about people around you. How do you connect with them, and how do you create long-lasting relationships? So this is the first thing. Now, I want to tell you something which is a superhuman power which you can develop, and that is, now look into the handwriting sample of Rabindranath Tagore, okay? And one thing very interesting about his letter I. Now, before I show you his handwriting, let me do that on the paper so that it's easy for you to know what to look at. So when you look at his handwriting, pay attention to his letter I, the small letter I, and you'll be surprised to see every time he writes, the I dot is like a perfect dot, including the letter J. You'll find it perfect. And it's not only a perfect dot, it is also closer to the stem. That means the proximity of the dot and the distance between the stem and the dot is pretty much close. Now, let's see how close it is. Everybody on your screen right now, I'm showing you handwriting sample of Rabindranath Tagore. How many of you are able to see? It's perfect dot. It's a perfect dot. If you're able to see it, just raise your hand so I know you're able to see it, if you're able to see this. Now also check in your handwriting. Do you have this? I have zoomed in some of the letters for you. Can you see here the proximity from the stem and this proximity from the, can you see it's a picture perfect dot? See how picture it is? It's a picture perfect dot. And do you know what it means? Let me not just say it to you. Let me show you in the material, because I'm not just making up things. I'm showing you what the material is saying. This is the research data, what I'm sharing with you, and what the personality traits Rabindranath ji had. Everybody, are you with me on that? Yeah, there's so many things, Pyari. Now, let's not go into many more dimensions. Let's be focused on, I appreciate everybody's curiosity that you want to understand more, but right now, just pay attention to what I'm saying. So I'm taking your attention back to something called as attention to details. And I want you to look at this. And everybody, how many of you are able to see this handwriting sample where the I dot is closer to the stem? And if you have it, the behavior is you have amazing ability to pay attention to details. Your amazing ability to pay attention to details. It's like this. The closer to the stem the dot is, the more attention is paid to the details, the more observant the writer, and therefore the better memory. To improve your memory, bring the I and the J dots closer to the stem. Remember, I said something. I have not taught Grapho-therapy to Rabindranath ji. He already has this. Are you with me on that? Now, how many of you know, Imran, this is something which is missing in my life? The ability to pay attention in me was very good initially. I remember in my career, in my early days, but now it is deteriorating, that I'm not able to pay attention. What is the ability of paying attention? Is everywhere you go, you observe, you're being present. The technical term for this behavior is called you are being present. How many of you think that you get distracted very easily? Imran, I have the problem. The problem is distraction to the power of distraction. It's like I can just get distracted. It's like I just have to. No, I'm watching you. I just have to turn to see something, and I can get distracted. Like I'll even forget that I'm attending a session. And many times it happens. Like you're watching, you're attending the program. One notification on the phone comes. You open the phone to read the notification, and through the phone you have channelized yourself somewhere else. So that's called distraction. And write down this. If you want to win the game of life, you need to be present, and not just present. You need to enhance your conscious awareness. Write down this word, everybody. What do you mean by conscious awareness? Like if Ritik is being present to the people around him, he's watching other people receiving what he's saying, or he's just delivering it no matter what people are receiving it on. If you're doing a business presentation, what are the people responding? What are the body language saying? What are their questions? Why are they asking that questions? Can you see things beyond to it? And how you can develop that? Only when you have conscious presence. And many of us are lacking this. As much as you're learning so many modalities, as much as you're, overloading yourself with a lot of information, what is also important is being present. being present. And look into your handwriting. I can sell this with confidence. You don't have your I dot. Forget about the dots closer to the stem. Your dot is not a dot, and that is actually leading to a lot of irritation. That means you get irritated very easily, you get triggered very easily, you lose your patience with people very easily. And some of you very smart people right now, you're blaming it on the pen. You're blaming it on Imran. I am a good person. I have a lot of consciousness. The pen is problem. The ink. Maybe I have to get a fountain pen. Or when I'm, some of you have this theory. When I write with lot of attention and calmness, I write good. Bhai, ye koi bhi kar sakta hai, okay? You don't need to do this. So the idea is no matter wherever you write, however you write, your handwriting should show up and you can't fake it, okay? Trust me when I say this. I'll not even go on to the fundamentals of it because we have spoken enough. But right now, let's learn something. How many of you learned something new today? Yeah. I think one of the secrets for my success could be the way how I can be present. And trust me when I say this. Be present when somebody is speaking to you. Be present when you're on the phone. Be present when you're talking to people. Give this, valuable, things to people around you. When they speak to you, you're being present to it. When you're in a meeting, you're present. When you're driving, you're present. If you're attending this session with me, now be present. Don't get busy asking questions. Asking question also is also about removing yourself from the game of understanding, because what I am sharing with you is what you need. What you're asking on the chat box is what you want. And the results in life happens when you focus on what you need, not what you want. Are you with me on that? Yeah. So I know you want to ask so many questions. I know that's your want. Don't worry about that. It's taken care. You're in the beautiful zone. Everything will be delivered to you. But focus on what you need. Are you with me on that? So what you need is conscious awareness. What you need is being practical in life. Stop. That's why people spend, how many people have seen, no matter how many times people talk about Ponzi schemes, how many people talk about, not to click on the unwanted links, everything, you eventually end up doing that. Why? You're away from the practicalities of life. You always think that the offer is amazing. You always think that, okay, this is making a lot of sense. No, write down this, anything which you sense is away from practicality is not going to work. It's not going to work. Thank you for all the love and acknowledgement on the chat box. I know the rest of you are not able to see that. I don't want to distract you because I'm helping you to practice conscious awareness, okay? Conscious awareness. That's why you don't enjoy food, because you're consciously not present. That's why you're not listening to people. You're not consciously present. You don't follow traffic rules because you're consciously not present. How many times you have broken rule, you get stopped by the police cop, it's like, sir, dekha nahi sir. Sir, वो मैंने देखा नहीं, वहां पे लिखा हुआ है कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. Can you see that? You're not present. You're not really present. Okay. So this is what you can learn from Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting. So let me show you one more interesting thing about Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting. Everybody on your screen right now, something very peculiar way of writing the letter D. Okay. Look at finished. The letter D is not straight. It is a curve like this. Now look at this. Every time the person is writing the letter D, see, this is the word mind, M-I-N-D, and look at the D is curved like this. So let me write and show you. So that will make a lot of sense to you on your screen right now. On your screen, I'm showing you normally we write our D like this. See, we write our D in this way. But in Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting, can you see that? The D is not written this way. The D is actually not written this way. The D is actually written this way. Strange, no? Very different. It's like a peculiar way of writing a D. And let's find out what does it say. Let's find out what does it say. You know what? The material, I'm going to go to one more material. Okay, by the way, this is the material of my program, which is called as a first step. I do this program over a weekend, teaching people more than 55 things to look into anybody's handwriting, plus the signature analysis. I also do webinars to educate you more about the fundamentals and everything. If you're interested, if you want to explore this special skill you want to develop, where you can look into anybody's handwriting and know about that person more than what the person knows himself, I invite you to attend my masterclass, which I do it, on Thursdays in the afternoon. So I'm going to show you something very interesting about this type of a D. Okay, I'm opening up my next level of learning, which is the where you become a professional handwriting analyst. In the professional handwriting analyst, we have a conversation around this. So I'm going to go to page number 48. The reason I'm opening my material and showing you is because I'm not saying things because he's writing it. I'm showing you the validation. I'm showing you, I have not just made up this analysis, it's in front of you right now. So this is this type of a D. How many of you are able to see this D right now? Raise your hand if you're able to see this. Now look at the behavior and description of this. Shown by the letter D that goes up to the left and does not return to the baseline. This writer have a desire for cultural things such as travel, adventure, music, and fine food. If I said this to you, you would have said, everybody knows this about Rabindranath Tagore. But what I'm doing is I'm showing you the research data, which is way beyond Rabindranath Tagore's age. This is hundreds of years old. Now, this is what is happening. Are you with me on that? How many of you are amazed at how your handwriting can say so much about you? In fact, I want to show you some validations from what we have picked up. See, my best way of looking and understanding Rabindranath Tagore ji is through his handwriting. And I want to show you something from the, some of the biographies, some of the books which is written on him. When Rabindranath Tagore envisioned and built Shanti Niketan, he was not merely interested in education, but deeply involved in the minute details, from architecture to the curriculum, from where a tree should be planted to how classroom should be open. So this behavior is represented by his eye dots. He instructed that the classroom should be held under the trees to encourage learning in open air, reflecting his belief in learning through experience and nature. He also paid close attention to the design of buildings so they reflected harmony and in sync with the local environment and aesthetics. Now, one more amazing thing. So we know he is known for the flow of thoughts he has, the amazing fluidity of thoughts he has. So how do I see this in his handwriting? How many of you are able to see there is a 8 formation in the writing? How many of you are able to see this? There's a 8 formation in the handwriting. So wherever he's writing the letter S, wherever you see he's writing some of the letters, you will see there is a numerical 8 shape happening in the handwriting. And that says something about him. How many of you are able to see, look into his F, 8 formation in his F. So what I'm doing again is I'm opening my material to explain you this, because it's so beautiful that how is that, this is like crazy, information that everything we see in his handwriting, the evaluation is saying all these things to us. So I'm again opening up the material for you. And this time I'm referring back to my first step book. Everybody, we are talking about some of the natural strengths you have on your screen right now. I'm again opening up my material. I hope you're also looking at your own handwriting right now. Look at the 8 formations in your handwriting. The 8 formations in your handwriting is saying something about you. See here. How many of you are able to see there is an 8 formation in the handwriting here? How many of you are able to see there's an 8 formation in the handwriting? So the material says, shown in the figure 8 shape letters, it talks about, it means that the writer can express his ideas smoothly and easily, moving from one object to the another with ease. This writer makes a good conversationalist and a speaker and a writer. How many of you are amazed with the information we are able to unfold? Are you with me on that? Now the question is, remember I said, write like a genius. So if you want to develop fluidity of thoughts in your life, if you want to have amazing conversational ability, how many of you like to have that? In fact, if you want to be an author, if you want to be a coach, if you want to be a trainer, I think this should be your go-to factors to have in your writing. Are you with me on that? It should be this go-to factors to have it. So everybody, if you want to develop this, you can also do that. So what I teach you and how I'm showing you right now, let me talk about the references from the understanding of Rabindranath Tagore ji. See here, Rabindranath Tagore is a towering figure in the millennium-old, literature of Bengal. His poetry, as well as his novels, short stories, and essays are very widely read, and the songs he composed reverberate around eastern part of the world. Gitanjali, a selection of his poetry for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in the literature in 1913, was published in English translation in London in March of that year and had been reprinted 10 times by November when the award was announced. So that's the ability he had in his handwriting, the fluidity of thoughts. And we can all develop this. This is not a alien science or alien method that, okay, he had it naturally. No, we can all develop this because we all have this ability. The problem is the muscle which you don't use is the muscle which is weak. Make sense? So the muscle which you don't use is a muscle which is weak. So if you want to develop that muscle of being communicative, conversationalist, you just have to practice that muscle. So how many of you are committed to do that? Give me a big yes if you're with me on that. So like this, there are 128 things I can look into your handwriting. I can teach you this. But just to get started, you can start with a short program where we talk about the information which you need, not what you want, about close to 55 things about you, the fundamentals, and then you can go and create a new identity around this own science. So what are the things we learn? Being conscious present. What did we learn? Being practical in our approach towards life. What did we learn? We talked about fluidity of thoughts. What did we learn? It's important to have cultural inclination in our life because we come from the land, because India has taught us many things. The way we look at our parents, the way we look at our culture, the way we look at our every system, the way we look at education, the way we look at our teachers. You need to be culturally grounded. How many of you agree with me on that? I think this is a need of the hour because there's a bigger message, bigger essence about humanity and everything in the sense of culturally being aligned to it. So this is what is possible using handwriting analysis, how we can learn from the geniuses by learning to write like them. And the best ways in NLP, how many of you have done NLP with Miteji? In NLP, we have something called as, what is a concept where you identify somebody who has the similar qualities which you want to develop and you start doing something with them. What is that method called as? It's called mirroring, right? It's called modeling, right? So you just have to do that. So similarly, if modeling can help you to become that person, so similarly, you're writing like a genius to influence your subconscious mind. And the idea is the easiest and the fastest way to work around that. Easiest and the fastest way to work around that. Are you all with me? So before I say bye to you, one of my core, value systems is also about how I can teach human beings to be the best version of a human being. And to be a best version of a human being, it's important that you need to master your emotions. One of my core belief is that if you want to manage your life, start by managing your emotions. A person who has mastered his emotions is a person who has mastered his life. Because it's very easy to say, Imran, I don't know why I get angry so much. Okay. It's easy to say that, I don't know what happens when I get angry. That's very irresponsible statement. So what I do is, as part of my community teachings, as part of my curriculum, I do sessions on human behavior. I do sessions on handwriting analysis, and I try to marriage or bridge the gap between the both, because many of us need this education. So what I want to do right now is I want to quickly go and give you a little insight into decoding your temper. How many of you have, Imran, थोड़ा temper problem है? This area of my life requires little fixing because I'm a good human being only, but sometimes when temper happens, I don't know what happens, what takes over me. So let's decode that. So everybody on your screen right now, I'm going to have a quick conversation. This is a longer, lengthy, in-depth conversation, but I'm just going to have a brief one so that you go back home with a bigger message, not just about practicing like, Rabindranath Tagore's handwriting, because that's easy, that's doable, because we have developed material to help you to write like a genius. We have developed material to help you to reprogram your subconscious mind. This is easy. All that you have to do is attend my masterclass, join there, and I'll send you these physical books and you can do it. But today I want to talk to you a little more in detail because this is something which is bothering many of us in our life, that is the temper. So write down. Many times when we say the word temper, we are feeling or thinking it is about just getting angry. No, temper is defined as an emotional imbalance. Why are we experiencing emotional imbalance in our life? Because temper is often seen as anger. In truth, it is deeper emotional imbalance, where anger can be a clear focus signal that something isn't right. So that's anger. But often what happens is that it's basically it's chaotic expression of all your emotions. That's temper. It's basically things which are out of proportion. It is chaotic. It is unprocessed emotions are called temper. What do you mean by unprocessed emotions is if Pawan comes and tells me, you know what, Imran, Ritik said this thing about you. So even before I understand what the context was, why Ritik said that, what was the background about it, I went and exploded on him. I went and blew my emotions on him. And then what happens after I blew my temper on him is that it is followed by guilt. You know why? Because the processing happened later on. How many of you have been there and done that? Okay, you vomited the emotion, and after the emotion got vomited, then you started processing, and then what followed was all the repercussions of the act. And look at this. What happens is many of us, when you experience emotional imbalance, it's basically looks like this. Now imagine it's not just anger which is coming out of your mouth. What is coming is the fear, the sadness, the helplessness, all these things, even the frustration, all gets tangled and then gets out of it. Then gets out of it. The problem is it's not just about that. You know what? You think you just got angry, but do you know that that one emotion can change the metabolism, can change the entire equation in your body and in your mind? Watch me on your screen right now. When your emotional system is imbalanced and the temper takes over, your body behaves like it's in a storm. Your muscle tightens, your breath becomes shorter, and your face may flush. The logical part of your brain goes quiet while the survival brain becomes dominant. How many of you have experienced this? The answer is in one sentence. When your emotions are high, your intelligence is low. How many of you heard this before from Mitesh? How many of you heard this in one of the sessions? Like when your emotions are high, your intelligence is low. That's why you tend to take decisions when you're not being present because emotions are very low, because the logical part is suspended and your brain is all about. So how many times you use your temper because that movement, it was all about proving who is right. That movement, it was all about winning that argument. That movement was all about making a point. And that's why the temper took over. And that's why you could not stop yourself, but it happened. Now the question is, Imran, how can I see this in handwriting? So when you look into your handwriting, if your letter T is more towards the right hand side. So now look into your handwriting, everybody. There are two things about your letter T. One is the standing line and one is the crossbar. Now this time, the crossbar is not balanced. It is more to the right hand side. Now look into your handwriting. And if you have temper in your handwriting, raise your hand with a smile. Done. Okay. Superstar Pyari, look at like she's so proud that she has temper. Yeah. How many of you are okay? Okay, I see a number 517674. Temper, okay. Vedanta ji, you're smiling more. So what is the reason? So the reason of my smile is Imran, temper. Okay, so who else has temper? Vijay? But yeah, Rupak ji. But you know what? Some of you are very good people. So good that, you know what? Imran, temper. मैं बहुत शांत किस्म का इंसान. So anybody who does not experience temper, you know, Imran, everything is good in my life. So please हमें बताइएगा. हम एक मंदिर बना रहे हैं. हम आपको लेके जाकर वहाँ पे आपकी स्थापना कर देते हैं. Because you know, बुद्धा के बाद यही इंसान मिला हमें जो enlightened मिला. तो इसको लेके जाके वहाँ पे बिठा देते हैं. Like, yeah, some of you are very good people. Like, yeah, all is good, Imran. मेरी जिंदगी में सब चीज ठीक है. Thank you. You know, I'll be happy really if everything is going on fine. You know, that's my sarcastic side came in. But this is how it is. Are you with me on that? So if you have that in your handwriting, so let me show you more in detail, but demonstrating on the paper, how does it look like? Okay. So when you're writing your T, ऐसा balance होना चाहिए, ये सही तरीका है लिखने का. But the problem with many of us is that when you write your T, this is more to the right hand side. So the more right, the more temper. The more right, the more temper. So Imran, how do I get out of it? There are many ways of working on your temper, but this is the best way to write your T's and get yourself out of your temper. But what can I tell you? Yeah. So now you may not have this in your handwriting, but you might have this in the people in your life. Now you know why they're operating from. Now you know why they behave in a particular way they're behaving right now, because it's coming from temper. Now, idea here is this. Now let's understand a little bit more about the temper right now. Now, what you need to really understand about temper is you need to really learn something about your temper. When you are angry, you just need to learn that millisecond space you need to create for yourself. Are you with me in that? So next time when you feel emotionally very high, give yourself that millisecond time to decide whether it is worth the expression you're going to do, anything like that. So normally when temper happens, it's looking for a platform. It's looking for a stage to come and show up. So don't give that platform, don't give that stage to the temper. Deprive yourself. Identify what is triggering you and get yourself away from the trigger. How many of you can do that? These are all conscious efforts. ये सब हमें मालूम है. How many of you already know that what you need to do when you need to do temper? But the problem is, जो चीज हमें consciously मालूम है, the things which we understand consciously, subconsciously, if we can program it, it becomes. Are you with me on that? So why I teach people grapho-therapy is so that you can actually work on your subconscious level. Because conscious हमने बहुत चीजें पढ़ी हुई हैं. Some of you can talk more about temper than I could, because you have done mastery over it. You have seen it happening in your life. But how do you fix that? I can't give you some tips here and tell you what to do, because I am committed that I can help you on a reprogramming on your subconscious level. That's why it's like basically hacking your brain, making some circuit changes, and things will change. That's how it is. So that's what is called grapho-therapy. Grapho-therapy ka maana hai changing your handwriting or writing in a particular way to influence your subconscious mind. Now, some of you have a question. Imran, you said so much about handwriting, but I have a very small, very valid question. Who writes nowadays? I hardly write. That's exactly is my point. You're not writing enough. Are you with me? And handwriting is not the only thing which you're not writing enough. You're not exercising enough. Hello? You're not spiritually high enough. So can you see that just because you think you're not writing it, it does not become it's not important. Are you with me? Just because I'm not doing that enough, it does not mean that it's not enough. Like remember when Kindle came in, remember when Amazon started online books, and people thought, who's going to read books and who's going to have physical books? So even today, the bookstores are there. Even today, people are reading books. You're like, so can you say just because I am not doing it, it does not mean that it's not relevant. Make sense? So that's one of the ways of we also resisting that ये हमें नहीं चाहिए, ये हमें नहीं चाहिए. So I can go on and talk more about it, but right now I want to take this moment and appreciate and acknowledge each one of you. Continue to be the way you are. Continue to be a student of life. Continue to learn new things so that you can upgrade and update yourself. And one of the beautiful learnings which we got present today is to acknowledge your own self. So always stand in acknowledgement. No matter how much you acknowledge the universe, the world, and everybody, but you need to also do it for yourself, because it takes a different person to be here. Trust me when I say this, because the rest of the family members may not really comprehend what you do every day at 9 o'clock. Like, all I know is some music happens, you're dancing, dance करने से जिंदगी ठीक हो जाती है क्या? ये सब सुनने से चीजें ठीक हो. They don't see what you see. So thank you for being that amazing person. Continue to be that person and continue to work on your life. Are you with me on that? Okay. So it's time to say bye to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. And those of you who are coming for the one-day miracle meet, the amazing offline event happening and conducted by IMK, I'm super excited to be there, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all and clicking pictures and creating memories with all of you. So till the time, take care of yourself. Continue to be amazing. Blessed night, everybody. Blessed night.